Welcome. This is Back to the Bins. I'm your host, Mr. B. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've been here before, thanks so much for coming back, and if you're new here, thanks so much for stopping by. This is a comic book collecting channel, and I'm a comic collector. These Sunday videos are intended to showcase the books I picked up this past week at my local comic shop. I've got a pull list, so I'm pretty familiar with what's happening in comics today. I love digging through the dollar bins, and I love digging through the back issue bins. So, if that sounds interesting to you, and you'd like to join me on my journey back to the bins, why don't you take a look over here, and I'll show you what I picked up. Alright, and like I said, these are the books I picked up this past week at my local comic shop, 204 Comics, and as per usual, we start in alphabetical order, and that takes us to Marvel Comics. Yes, some friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 11. That is the Sanford Greene variant. I picked this up because this is legacy number 975. We've got ourselves a milestone issue here, folks. Spider-Man 975 issues, 25 away from 1,000. And I'm sure Marvel and all the folks there are making plans for issue 1,000, which is just a little over 2 years away, if my math is correct. But this is an absolutely amazing cover. Similar to, I guess, is that Amazing Spider-Man number 100 in a way? Super, super cool. I say contender for cover of the year. I like Sanford Greene's work whenever I see it, and this is one of them for sure. Classic Spider-Man. Love it. Keeping with Marvel and with cover buys, because these Vecchio covers just keep on coming. Here we have the Avengers issue number 30, a milestone in its own right. Like I said, the Luciano Vecchio Vision variant last week, or last month, whatever it was, we had the Scarlet Witch variant, so these two will go together, or those two with this one will go together nicely. Love that. Super, super cool. There's still another one coming, so I'm not sure how many more we're going to see from Vecchio, but he's running out of characters. Over to DC, here we have Batgirl. This is issue number 11. That's the David Talaski A cover. Love this book, you know I do. I love this character. And this has been a really fun series and a fun arc. Last issue was pretty awesome. And this is a beautiful cover. Talaski's work is always good as well. Well, there's one Batgirl. There's another. Here we have the variant. I love all that yellow in there. Once again, Batgirl number 11. This is the Saowee variant. I think that's how you say it. Really love that style. Super cool. Yellow really works here, of course. And yeah, just a fun variant cover. Well, this was the talk of the town this week. And if you know, you know. Here we have from DC, we have Batman number 1. Yep. Here it is, folks. This is the Gabriel Dell'Otto connecting variant. I love Dell'Otto's work. Always a fan. I'm not always a fan of connecting variants. I think if they don't make it too hard to get, if you don't have to go through all these different comic titles to get them, awesome. At the same time, I love the variety that you can get with variant covers, and starting a connecting variant means you have to finish the variant, or the connecting covers, if you want to, I guess. So you either have to pick one or the other, at least that's what I do. So I guess I am doing the connecting variants here for Batman, but super cool. Love Dell'Otto. Where there's one of those, there's another one. Here we have, I love this one. This is Batman number 1, the Julian Totino Tedesco variant. Cover of the year potential here. I love the artwork as a whole. I love the colors. I love the technique. I love the look. This is just stellar. Super, super cool. Contender for cover of the year all day long. Beautiful stuff. Are you reading this? Are you interested? Did you buy it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Of course, I couldn't say no to another one because, yes, I got a blind bag. So, we are going to open this right now. I want to see what I got. I got my knife. I got my scissors. All right. We have taken it out. Now I think I'm just going to snip the ends off here. Hopefully you can see me do this. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try to... Here it comes. There we go. All right, you see that? Hey, look at that. Super cool. Love that. Nice little foil. And that is the Jorge Jimenez variant. Basically the A cover in foil. Neat-o. All right, and over to the independent section of your LCS. Here we have the Chamberlains. This was late. Actually, I think the shopkeep brought in the wrong variant for me, so we had to backtrack and get a copy. So here we have the Chamberlains issue number 3. This is the Todd Skull variant. This is the final issue. I just read issue number 2. It's all right. We'll see where this goes, see where it finishes. But I love these skull variants. I think they're fantastic. And of course, that is a skull on the variant, so neat. Back over to Marvel. Oh yeah, here we have another Milestone issue. This is Doctor Strange issue number 450. This is the Kevin Nolan variant, and yes, a Milestone indeed. And I would say contender for cover of the year. I love this look of Doctor Strange. His magic in action. Super cool. Love that. Very neat. Now, we don't always go for ratioed variants because they can be expensive, but when I saw this on the FOC, I knew I had to try, and I got it. Here is G.I. Joe, a real American hero. Issue number 320. This is the 1 in 10 Francis Portela variant. And here we have the badass himself, Snake Eyes, with a machine gun, about to do some damage, and no one's even going to see it coming. Awesome. I love that. This one's fun too. I had to get it because it looked super vintage. Here we have Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, Magic Unleashed number 1, the Dan DeCarlo variant. I'm here for the retro Sabrina stuff. Very cool. I love her hair. I love her outfit. It's all good. I am here for that. Oh, yes. Here's a cover by with a theme, which I think is great. I do want to read this, though, because I'm very interested to see where this is at. But this is Spider-Man 94, issue number 1, the John Tyler Christopher action figure variant. Spidey in his black suit. Very, very cool. Yeah, there's going to be this sort of toy packaging variants coming out for this title, and I'm going to be collecting them all. I love that. A lot of fun. More fun stuff. I love Star Wars, but I also love Star Trek, and here we have, again, Star Trek Red Shirts number 2. This is the Megan Levins Federation recruitment variant. Love that. More Star Trek. That's cool for all you Star Trek fans out there. Here we have Star Trek Voyager Homecoming. This is issue number 1, the Angel Hernandez A cover. Captain Janeway having a look. I love this. I really liked Voyager when it was out. I thought it was a fun show. Like the premise. And I'm hoping that this is going to be just as fun. Super cool. Like that. Keeping with Marvel, here we have Ultimate X-Men. That is the Peach Momoko A cover. I love this book. This is ending soon. I think it's going to be ending at issue 24, I believe. But this is issue 19, and I love this cover. Really, really cool. I love getting Momoko's variants. It's been my thing throughout this run. Sometimes they're accessible. Other times they're ratioed. So I guess this one wasn't, and I love this anyway. Keeping with X-Men, here we have the Uncanny X-Men. Another one of my favorite titles. This is issue number 20, the David Marquez A cover. Really love the look of this. Super, super cool. We got one of the outliers here, as well as old Wolverine. battling who knows who. Very cool. Where there was one, there was two. I can't say no to a Rogue cover, and here we have a great one. It's the Uncanny X-Men issue 20, the Fan Yang Rogue variant. Super fun. Love that. Can almost hear the squeak of the suit. Not like some of them, but this is getting close. I love that, though. I love the shine. The colors are fantastic. The hair is great. Up in the air. Very fun. All right, and here we have, down the independent section of your comic shop, we have The War, issue number 2, the Becky Cloonan A cover. This, of course, now taken from the pages of Hello Darkness. We now have this whole Garth Ennis story within its own comic series. That's pretty cool. So if you've read Hello Darkness, you've read this story. If you like this story and you want to have your own little volume of it, then this is for you, and that's what I'm after. I really like that story. Very cool within the first number of issues of Hello Darkness, so I like that. I like to have this here as well. Great artwork, too. And I tell you all the time about the little bins right next to the dollar bins at the LCS where the shop's selling trade paperbacks and stuff, and it's 1 for $5 and 3 for 10 or something like that. So I found one, and I was really keen on having a look at it. It's from DC. Of course, you know this. Never read this before. This is Kingdom Come. This is the trade, originally released in 1996. This is the 2019 version. Of course, written by Mark Waid, and all the artwork done by Alex Ross. And, he's a favorite of mine, and I thought this was just spectacular. Let's just quickly dig into some of the Alex Ross artwork. That is just great stuff, right? So, yeah, I'm looking forward. The shopkeep said this is absolutely fantastic. I've heard that from everyone and everybody, so looking forward to that. And that's everything, folks. So how about we get back to the real world, shall we? Well, it's a great stack of books. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw, and if you did, why don't you like, comment, and subscribe? It really helps to build the channel, and I'd love to develop a community of people who just really love comics. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you next week, and until then, remember, comics are good.